So that's it. The end of what has been a very insane season, ups and downs, and it all came down to the final couple of weeks, of course, the battle for top four. And I know most people wouldn't have probably cared. It was obviously more about top and bottom of the table, but I'm going to do my job today. This is Operation Arsenal, and we are going to talk about the 5-1 win against Everton, which ultimately isn't enough to secure us top four football as Tottenham have smashed Norwich. Who would have thought? Nah, that's not possible. Why couldn't Tottenham just have one last really tough game? It is what it is. I'll quickly go through the goals and how it went, and then I'll talk about Arsenal's season as a whole. And then I'm going to do a special video in the next few days just about the season and about my favourite players, who I thought performed well, who didn't perform well, what players I'd like to see join certain clubs and things like that. So we'll do like a more detailed breakdown of the season. But today is about Arsenal. 5-1 win, 2-1 at half-time. We took the lead through a penalty, and Nketiah then made it 2-0 from a corner. Van der Beek scored a very poor goal defensively for Arsenal, but half-time 2-1, I'm thinking, well, who cares? I think Spurs were 2-0 up, 3-0 up. As soon as Spurs scored, we all knew, didn't we? But then in the second half, Cedric scored a really well-worked corner. Gabriel made it 4-1, and then Ødegaard with my favourite goal of the day, actually. That was a lovely finish and a 5-1 win. Everton, obviously, there was no real reason to worry for them. They'd already secured safety, so there was no problems and no stress. But they still would have wanted to finish the season well. And to get a win at Arsenal, to do the double over Arsenal this season would have been nice for them. But it wasn't a full-strength team, as you can see there. And they were, poor, very poor. Cedric got man of the match for us. Yeah. Is it his final appearance? Obviously, we're going to see a few players departing. We're seeing the back of Lacazette. I think that was his last performance today. Potentially Xhaka. I anticipate he's staying, but you just never know. Would be quite fitting. This was his 250th appearance. Could be maybe even Tavares, his last game. Who knows? He might be loaned out and eventually never makes it. I thought he was all right today. But Cedric, I think it's quite possibly his last game for the club. We'll see. I think we're looking at many right-backs, aren't we? But the main person we should be talking about potentially leaving is, of course, Nketiah, who got another goal today and had, I think, a very decent performance. Is he going to stay at the club? I guess a lot of people would say he deserves to stay and should maybe be given more of a chance next season. But it's a very difficult and tricky situation here because obviously we have plans as a club to do better than this. We should be in the Champions League. We all know that. We bottled it massively. We need a striker. With Lacazette leaving, Balogun coming back from on loan isn't going to be enough. It's very obvious, and I'm sure Nketiah knows it too. There's going to be a new number 9 next season. And I think that's where the issue lays, because if Nketiah is going to go into Arteta's office in 2 months' time, or even 1 month's time, or even a couple of weeks' time, and we've signed a £100 million striker, let's say, he's going to sit down and say, well, I'm not going to play, so I'm not going to sign a new contract. It's a difficult, delicate situation. I hope Nketiah stays. Look, try and attract him with the number 9 shirt, or give him number 14, Henri's shirt. Stay for another season, sign a deal, and we can still bring in another striker, and let's just see what happens. Tempt him with a new shirt number. Martinelli wearing number 11 next season, by the way. Who cares? Basically, though, guys, a really good performance from Arsenal. Gabriel with another goal. Holding was okay. Was a shame not to see White finish the season. He's been great. Iwobi was interesting for Everton. Not sure I would play him at right wing back. He's a little bit of a liability, but I think he's done okay for them over the last few weeks. Frank Lampard's got a lot of work to do to keep these guys improving. I mean, based off what we've seen this season, Everton have great players, but they just don't seem to either stick to the plan or they're just bottlers. They're really struggling to get consistent form. So I think we'll see a better Everton, but he's got a lot of work to do. And they need to keep players like Calvert-Lewin. Without him, I don't know where their goals are going to come from. We can have a look at some of the stats here. I mean, obviously with it being 5-1, our expected goals is going to be pretty high. 3.8 there. We had 26 shots to 6 from Everton. pretty remarkable stats. And what I want to know is why, when it doesn't matter so much, are we performing at such an elite level? If we played like this against Newcastle, and of course it's very easy to say that in football, in any sport. Why didn't I perform like this today, like that on that day? It doesn't work like that. And Newcastle didn't let us play. So obviously it's very easy for me to say it, but there is truth there. Why weren't we able to perform like this against Tottenham when, we started well against Tottenham, and then of course the red card and the penalty, but going into that game against Newcastle when all we had to do was win, and then obviously win again at Everton today, why couldn't we produce this? Where was this? Where was it? It's really disappointing because we had it in our grasp, and of course it's been 2 losses that slipped away. Europa League football, 5th place. And look, I'm not dissing Tottenham because fair play. And you know what won it for them? And I say won it, I mean won the top 4 race. January. And I really strongly believe that if KT and Partey were fit, we would have done it for sure. But Kulusevski, Bentaker, fantastic signings on loan, so totally available for Arsenal and anyone else at that kind of level. I think it would have been difficult to do it. I think, there's some strong ties there at Tottenham with Juventus and, Italian league players. But still, they did a great job, and we shifted players on. We did the opposite. They strengthened and we weakened, and then we got injuries. That is down to the club. It's down to Arteta, the staff, and some bad luck. It is what it is. We go again next season. Europa League football. The theme is better anyway. The theme tune for the soundtrack for the Europa League is far better anyway. We'll be playing Thursdays and Sundays, which is obviously frustrating. But do you know what? You have to look at the positives. We can win the Europa League. That is a winnable tournament next season with players coming in. And we build on that. We're ahead of schedule. I would have taken 5th place from the start of the season. I probably would have taken it 2 months into the season when things were looking a bit dodgy for us. Tottenham would have been absolutely horrified if at the start of the season they found out they almost finished 5th, because they're in a better position than us. And, I don't want to make it all about the Arsenal-Tottenham battle, but let's be clear. Arsenal Football Club, after finishing 8th and then 8th again, going through a huge transition, lots of new young players coming in, to outperform most critics, their predictions, to get 5th place and almost get 4th. So close. Like, we were so close. I don't actually think it's that bad. But of course, we're going to be remembered as bottling this season instead of doing well. It is what it is. I've got some of your comments coming in, guys. Big Josh says, a good... Oh, I thought it was AH. All well and good celebrating and dancing when the pressure is off. Where was this performance when it really mattered on Monday? True. Very, very true. I don't know why I misread that. I was pretty sure that was well. Next, we've got Regiafo. Wish we could have done that when it mattered. I think there's going to be a lot of those comments, but I did pick out some good ones as well. I like this one from Sergito. It is tough to take. Is it tough to take? But I see too many positives of this season. Need to strengthen the side and will be even better. Trust the process. Good performance today. I agree with Bits. I wouldn't say there's too many positives, but there are positives. And I'm sure that's what you actually mean. There are some really good things to take from this season. We just go again. It's football, guys. It's just a sport. Yes, it means a lot to a lot of us. Yes, it actually directly influences my mood, and my life revolves around Arsenal in a lot of ways. My work, my YouTube channel, everything it's Arsenal. But the reality is, it's not going to affect my health in that way. I'm not going to be worse off as a human being because of getting 5th place instead of 4th place in football. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We just go again. JP then said they should be proud of themselves. Not top 4, but still overachieved. See, I wouldn't want Arteta saying it like this, but I agree with you. We should be proud of the squad, but I don't want Arteta going and saying, well done, guys. 5th is fine. I'm really proud of you. We've overachieved. I want him going in and saying, look, guys, great performance. We need to do that when it matters most. I'm proud of the achievements we've made this season, but we have fallen right at the end. We go again next season, and we get that top 4. We win the league next season. That's what I want him to say. I think, guys, it's not really important. I want to talk about what else happened today. Yeah, I think I might save it for tomorrow. I might postpone just one episode of the career mode, just shift it and do a talk on what's happened this season. I want to do some research, look at some of the stats, come up with maybe my own awards. So I might do that. I might take a small break from the career mode to do that. It's the last games of the season today, so I want to do like a roundup video, so that might be interesting for you guys. I'm sure I'll still get slated for not posting career mode, but come on, I'm not a machine. I don't want to be posting career mode if I'm really excited to do a different video for once. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, my own awards, talk about what happened today, because the way Man City won the league is unreal. I didn't think they'd ever beat the Aguero moment, and they haven't beaten that, but it's close, isn't it? It's ridiculous. But thank you for watching, guys. Back next season with Operation Arsenal for European football. Ooh, could we win the Europa League? No, probably not.